joined BPL in 1982 April at Secunderabad in materials as assistant manager. Moved to Bhadrachalam in December 1983. Worked as materials in charge till September 1987. Moved back to Secunderabad in 1989 and was posted to ITC Global Holdings Limited, based at Dubai. Returned to PSPD in May 1999. Retired in October 2015 as divisional head commercial. Such a wonderful trajectory for Mr. Jogara with BPL.
I think that's enough, Christina.
Yes, and most of all, sir, I want to tell everybody that your enthusiasm, your zest for life, you are such a wonderful inspiration to all of us in every aspect, whether it is humility, whether it is generosity, whether it is your demeanor, your love for everybody. It's wonderful to have acquaintance with you, sir, and it's a blessing for all of us. Thank you so much, and thanks for giving us this talk today, sir.
Oh, thanks, Krishna.
Over to you, sir.
Shall we start?
Yes, please.
Yes, sir. Please.
Good morning, Silver.
Good morning.
Good morning, Bhadrachalam Silver. Diamonds, golds, platinums, everybody aim high, like Mr. C.S. Rao said, you reach somewhere. So that's why I'm calling you all platinum, diamonds, and golds. Okay? So I've been asked to talk on something. I have quite a few topics on travel, tourism, world holidays. People said lighter topic will be of interest to people. But then I said, no, I'll talk something about paper industry because we all belong to the industry and we are going through a crisis right now. And I, with my little contacts across the globe, keep some information up my sleeve. So I thought I'll share all that with you guys. And also particularly with small and medium mills, which totally dependent on recycled fiber. As you all know, 50% of India's paper and paperboard production is coming through small and medium mills, mainly using recycled fiber. And you also know that the major sources for recycled fiber in the world is USA, not even North America, USA particularly, Canada is very little, and Europe. Within Europe, it is France, Italy, Germany, and UK. So these four in Europe and one large country, USA, Northern America, cater to most of the requirements of recycled fiber across the globe. Now, there are 2-3 major issues that have happened in the recent 3-4 months, and that is going to impact Indian paper industry substantially, particularly the small and medium mills, those who depend on imported base paper. The reason being, the coronavirus has impacted everybody in every walk of life, be it shipping, be it collection. I'm talking about only paper industry. I'm not talking about general health and other issues because that's waste of time. Everyone knows about it. The shipping, the collection, the quality issues, the price issues, the freight costs, everything. I've been talking to a few of my friends in Europe and US, and they gave me some details which are quite alarming. China suddenly has become an enemy for everybody across the globe, including the paper industry, operating out of Europe, US, Asia, elsewhere, and people are now talking anti-China. With this, and of course the coronavirus has impacted the production in China, and Chinese exports to various countries have substantially come down for the corona reason and also for the anti-China sentiment. As a result, what happened is, I'm talking about first shipping and the freight, then I'll talk about rest of the aspects slowly, I'll go step by step. As a result, what happened is, as you all know, China used to be the largest exporter of cargo across the globe to various countries. So a lot of shipping companies used to depend on China for shipping the cargo into China at high freight rates, at low freight rates, and in turn export Chinese cargo to various parts of the world at high freight rates. There were instances where ships have gone with empty haulage to China to pick up a cargo because they were covering the to and fro freight rates from Chinese cargo. So today the situation is such, because of coronavirus and also because of anti-China sentiment, the ships going into China have substantially come down. As a result, what happened is, of course, the coronavirus itself has impacted the shipping fraternity, the cargo crew, the shipping crew, the labor related to various aspects of shipping and cargo have all been affected. They have been under lockdown, quarantine, and shipping companies are suffering heavily. Just to give you an impact of this, in the last 2 months, the shipping freight costs have gone up by more than 50% across the globe. And if you ask for a container or a few containers for smaller destinations like China, India, or any other Asian countries, you don't get, because you can't move a vessel with 2,000 tons or 2,000 containers or 10,000 containers capacity with few containers to India. It won't work economical. So the problem is supply chain has been disrupted very badly, and most of our supplier people who are importing waste paper are facing problems of getting the cargo, one. Two, getting the cargo at a competitive price. So the impact of corona as well as anti-China is really going to have a substantial impact on the availability of cargo in time at a competitive price for the Indian paper industry. I'm not talking about rest of Asia because India is our centric point. So Indian paper mills have to be on their caution as coronavirus is going to spread further. Things are going to be worse than what it is today, and we can't expect anything to happen in the next 1 to 1.5 years time unless a vaccine is developed or a drug is developed which is proven and people are administered with the drug and vaccine in large numbers across the globe. So the situation is going to be pretty grim for the next 1.5 years in terms of shipping, container availability, freight rates, and also the imports coming from various parts of the world into countries like China and other Asia. Now that is one aspect of it. Second thing is, these countries like in Europe and US also are impacted by the economic slowdown due to coronavirus. And as a result, as you all know, waste management, which is called material recycling facility in USA, is mostly like in India handled by low-level people who have no education, who work only on waste management work, like we call them rack pickers and waste workers in India, whereas in US they have a much better name given to them. So material recycling facility workers, though they are paid highly, $8.5 per hour, the point is they are also psychologically affected because of coronavirus. The numbers have substantially come down. People are under lockdown, they are not reaching to their workplace. Second most important aspect is, you go to an office, you do a secretarial job or you do a housekeeping job, low-end jobs I'm talking about, where people are not going to be impacted for their health. For simple reasons like, you go to the office and work there, you'll not get impacted by virus unless you go and get in touch with a person who is impacted by virus. But in waste management, even if your intentions are good, you're bound to catch virus, as it is happening with our nursing staff in India, because you are close contact with the dirtiest object on the surface of earth. You handle biodegradable waste, you handle organic waste, you handle recyclable waste, which is stinking, which is dirty, and people with all the safety gear, they go and attend to this material, they're bound to fall sick. So there's a fear factor of falling sick dealing with waste management. So therefore, the number of people available for collection, handling, shipping, baling, etc. has substantially gone down. So that has already impacted the quantum availability. Second thing is that is also going to impact the quality. People who used to put their heart and soul into sorting and getting best material out of the garbage and supply to the paper mills as raw material, today are not all that keen to put their hands and dirty themselves and fall sick and die maybe. So as a result, the quality is going to go down substantially. And third most important thing is the costs have substantially gone up. If you look at a cargo which is coming from either Europe or USA, it can be split into pre and post shipment costs. Pre-shipment costs, which are like collection, handling, baling, sorting, etc., because of coronavirus and shortage of labor, the costs have substantially gone up. As I told you, shipping costs have gone up by more than 50%. So what we're going to foresee in the near say 12 months to 18 months period is a substantial hike in waste paper prices. So pricing of waste paper is going to go up, quality is going to go down, supplies will be impacted because of non-availability of containers and ships. Therefore, industry is up for a big problem. So I am cautioning, though I have been told to talk about on lighter subjects, I thought this is the most important subject for the paper industry people, because most of our silos are in some mill or other, and some are retired and working as consultants. Paper industry related topic, that too of such importance, should be today's talk. So that is one reason. Second thing is, coming to Indian scene, as I mentioned earlier, more than 50% of Indian paper boards is produced out of recycled fiber. Almost about 585 to 600 paper mills across the country are using recycled fiber as raw material. Coming to the quantum of waste paper we import from overseas, it's almost like 4.5 to 5 billion tons per annum. As against what we collect is about 7.5 to 8 million tons within the country. As a result, the dependence on overseas supplies, if it is going to be impacted for the reasons which I already mentioned earlier, Indian paper industry has to look for survival tactics or strategies to actually overcome the current problem. And also, if they work on these strategies, they'll be able to survive better even in future. One, it reduces the dependence on the imported recycled fiber, and also it makes the Indian paper industry self-sufficient with the domestic availability. Coming to that subject, I have started this initiative called Wealth Out of Waste in 2007 when I was at ITC PSPD, and subsequently up to 2015 I managed it and reached a decent level. And in 2013 it was rechristened as Well-Being Out of Waste, because everybody thought ITC is making money out of even garbage. So we all thought, senior management, that will rechristen it as a Well-Being Out of Waste, so that it becomes more of a CSR initiative rather than a selfish initiative of getting raw material to Kova unit. So that was the reason why it has become Well-Being Out of Waste in 2013. And today I'm very happy the initiative is doing across the globe, across the country very well. And it's in the one of the top points of CSR report given by chairman during AGM every year. Now, coming to the WOW initiative, we have done fairly well. We have set the technique on the ground. We have advised people as to how it can work, what are the nuances involved, at what level which people have to be trained, how the source segregation has to happen, how we can do a wet and dry waste separation, and within the dry waste, what are the various recyclables involved, plastic, metal, paper, glass, wood, etc. Within the recyclables, more than 60% is paper content, as you all know. So paper industry, if it is collecting out of 20 million tons of paper what we produce and consume every year, we are collecting only about 8 million tons. Good 12 million tons is going into the garbage unknowingly. In our system, we are very conservative people in India. We don't throw away anything valuable. We consider ourselves very, spendthrift, and we don't throw away good value. But knowingly, we are keeping newspapers, cartons, pre-consumer waste like converters waste, etc. safely, and it is reaching the paper mills for recycling. But unknowingly, whatever FMCG products we buy, the toothpaste, the shaving cream, the various electronics, whatever you buy, most of the packing stuff ends up in garbage because we don't foresee value, one reason. Second reason is that when you are in the excitement of opening the parcel and see what is inside, the value of the carton is actually forgotten and it ends up in garbage bins. So the good 12 million tons which is ending up in garbage bins has to be recovered. If we do that successfully, even if we do 80%, 70% of that, our dependence on imported wasteware comes down substantially. And Indian small and medium paper mills, even large paper mills like Bhadrachalam used to use a lot of waste paper, but Kova unit substantially uses a lot of waste paper. So such large mills also will be self-sufficient and will be able to use most of the domestic collection at an economic cost. Now, coming to the way we handle this whole subject is, I've had a detailed presentation on this several times. I don't want to put a lot of time on that because most of the people in the forum will be knowing. But if somebody like, who have not heard about WOW or who have not, initiated this at their level, I can do a separate presentation on well-being out of waste separately with nuances starting from scratch, 0 to 100. Every point is taken care. I'll explain. That is a good 1-hour presentation. But today I won't do that. Assuming that the well-being out of waste initiative will generate enough recyclable waste, out of which paper is 60%. I'll give you a simple example. For a daily 4-member family, we generate good 1/4 kilo of waste, recyclable waste. The average thumb rule is 2 kilos of waste is generated in a household. Even if we consider about, say, 15-20% of that is recyclable, we'll be able to recover about 250 to 300 grams of recyclable waste from daily garbage. What we keep aside, newspapers, cartons, etc., is not involved in this. I'm talking about what normally we throw in the garbage bins. You keep aside, that itself will be generating about 1/4 kilo to 300 grams of waste every day. So imagine across the country, 1.3 billion people with so many households, if they start keeping this, the quantum of paper recyclable, plastic recyclables, glass, wood, etc. will be substantial in terms of quantity. I'm giving you a number. It is 75,000 metric tons per day is the recyclable quantum that we throw away into the garbage, which can be recovered across the country. And imagine if you recover at a cost of, or if you reuse at a cost of, say, 7,000 to 8,000 rupees per ton, the quantum of money you generate out of this runs into several billions. So there is enough potential for all industries, be it plastic, be it metal, be it paper, be it wood. So within this, paper is the largest component. Therefore, paper industry's requirement is also being high. We should be able to recover by implementing well-being out of waste initiative across the country. Now, coming to the idea of well-being out of waste, how it can be implemented. We have been talking about this since 2007. We started with 0, and then we moved up to a level of 4,500 tons per month in the last so many years. Now, if one mill can do this, one company like ITC can do this, the rest of the paper mills, almost 800 of them are involved in the country. If they all put their heads together, they'll be able to really do a wonderful job, because it is their own selfish interest that they will get raw material at a cost competitive price. They can support Swachh Bharat initiative. They can make our country environmentally friendly. You can see substantial change in the environment and garbage levels dropping. And you see overall well-being and health and hygiene improving. So when there are so many advantages, apart from the raw material angle, why not we take it up? So this subject was discussed by me in IPMA, IPTA, and also in PaperX and several forums. And I've discussed this with the small and medium-sized paper mills which are dependent on recycled fiber. Mukundan is the General Secretary, and I had a discussion with him. I suggested a method which I'm going to explain now, because a lot of small mills and medium mills are in the forum. Like Madhu is one of the guys who's using waste paper and producing good quality paper and paper boards in Nizamabad. Like that, several people are involved either as employees. Divya Shakti is another one. Ishwar Reddy is working. Just to name a few. So like that, there are quite a few people within our Bhadrachalam Silvers. They're passed by. SVR Krishnan is another guy. TNPL is using a lot of waste paper. So if we all put our heads together, take it as an initiative, taking the help of the good offices of large companies like TNPL, ITC, we can even talk to Mr. Sanjeev Puri because it's a part of our CSR initiative. And we got stalwarts like Sanjay Singh, Pradeep Doble, Chittaranjan that are initiating all these activities in ITC. We can use their good offices and push this as an initiative. I remember once when I was interviewed in the 1981 by Mr. Chugh, he said, Jogarao, do you know anything about high seas sales? I said, I know about high seas sales, sir, but I never dealt with it, because in 81, high seas sales is a Greek and Latin for most of the people. He said, I am thinking of high seas sales of waste paper. I said, why, sir? He said, no, we are ITC and we are India's one of the leading paper mills, and we should be the big daddy for the rest of the industry. So I'm thinking we'll import 50,000 tons of waste paper in a vessel, bring it to a bonded area, either in Kandla or in Chennai or one of the free zones, and then sort the metal into different grades, arrange them in bales, and then supply to the rest of the paper industry. That was the thought process by Mr. Chugh. That's why we call him visionary in 1981. So if we look at that idea and try and implement with an instrument called well-being out of waste in our hand, which is proven successfully, and we know all the nuances of that, how to implement it, and we've seen the results as well. And as big daddies of paper industry, TNPL, ITC, and JK, Balapur all join hands, this initiative can actually become countrywide activity. And today, Mr. Modi is jumping around talking about Swachh Bharat, all the more because of the coronavirus. We need to be more hygienic, more clean, more health-wise conscious about whole surroundings. In view of this, if we really table this well, there is a good platform for us to talk about and implement it successfully. Now, I'm coming to the basic way of attempting this initiative. I will not talk about how to implement WOW, but which I'll do it separately for the sake of other people in the forum at a later date. But my idea is, if we divide the 800 paper mills within the country into 5 zones, north, east, west, and central, and each zone will have at least 200, 300 paper mills, 200 to 250 to 300 paper mills, small and big and medium. So if all these 5 zones can create an association of paper mills operating within that zone, and some body can be created which can be initiating the WOW activity, and ITC being the backbone of it as part of their CSR activity and also as the #1 paper company in the country, they can push the initiative across their zone, and those paper mills which are involved will be the beneficiaries. We will give the idea, we'll do the hand holding, we'll do the supervision, we'll do the guidance, but ground level work has to be done by the people who are in that zone, those paper mills who are in that zone, because we cannot move waste paper collected in Bombay, Maharashtra region to Calcutta. So it's better to have it in the same zone, western zone, for all the paper mills which are collecting the waste paper and other recyclables within the west zone. Similarly, in the rest of the zones. If we do this 5-zone initiative, and in each zone we create a body of paper mills, big, small, and medium, and make them responsible and initiate this activity and implement it in a way we have done it in ITC PSPD and now as a CSR activity of ITC, which I have been very fond of, and I am very passionate about this initiative. One, it gives, as I mentioned earlier, it gives immense satisfaction to the people who implement it. And secondly, it will also take care of people who are the lowest rung of the society, like rag pickers. Their livelihoods improve and their general health and hygiene improve. And the biggest advantage is that the rag pickers, they do this because they have no other alternative, they are not educated. At least with this livelihood improvement and the kind of money we give for collecting the recyclables and what we pay about 4 or 5 rupees a kg, their children need not have to become rag pickers. They'll become much better people in the society, well educated, better in health and family affairs and things like that. So we are generally improving the well-being of the society by implementing this initiative. Therefore, it gives immense satisfaction apart from taking care of the raw material requirement. So in view of this, if our people within the forum, those are senior like Pradeep, Sanjay, Chittaranjan Dar, and of course, we use their good officers and approach people like Sanjeev Puri and DNPL chairman and other people, Singhania and Mangur and all that. And if we can put it across as an initiative which will help the society, one, which will help the industry, two, which will create raw material availability substantially, which will help Swachh Bharat. This is the plant we have to use with Government of India and Mr. Modi. In fact, in one of the visits of Mr. Chugh, I discussed this with him, and he said, I have access to Mr. Modi. If you have something strong which you can convince him, please come to me with the proposal. I'll take you there and we can talk to him. So if someone like Mr. Chugh can also step in and puts his support behind this, and with all the industry bigwigs around, we have a short absolute winner on our hands. We have issues which can be tackled on environment front. We have issues which can be tackled on the raw material availability front. We have issues on account of forex going out, on account of waste paper coming from overseas. We can attend to that. We reduce our dependence on US and Europe. The reason being, I want to tell you this is a very important point. See, like unlike in India, the population in India and China is growing every year. Whereas if you reach Europe and USA and even in Canada, it has plateaued. So waste paper or recyclable or garbage generation is directly linked to the population. If your population reaches a plateau and your quantum of waste generated is already at a peak level, the quantum of waste generated by people there is at a level where it cannot go beyond that. Okay, with more digitization, actually it may come down. So if your key sources of waste paper from overseas is Europe and USA, where the quantum of waste paper is already limited and our demand is growing because of the increased population and the growth of industry itself, which is growing around 8% per annum, where is that metal going to come from USA and Europe? So it is for us right time to get into a situation like this, push government, push ourselves, push the industry, and initiate this as a countrywide activity where we take this initiative driven by paper industry for the benefit of everyone else in the country, including plastic recyclers, metal recyclers, glass recyclers, everyone else, because the quantum of paper is the highest in recyclable. So we drive the initiative. And as a freelancer today, with the background of ITC and PSPD and all, I'm free. I'm available anytime to take it forward with the support of all you guys, and particularly the seniors. I'm there to talk about it, implement it, handhold it, travel across, tell people how to do it from zero, from scratch. So that being the case, if this initiative can help the industry, help the country, and also make our India Swachh Bharat a dream which is going to happen, going to take a long time, but with our initiative it can happen much faster. In fact, during my tenure with PSPD, I also interacted with biodegradable waste, how to tackle that, so that we have a zero waste management situation. So those aspects also can be attended to, so that society gets a full-fledged 100% answer for the garbage. We take care of source segregation, we take care of bio-waste, we take care of recyclable waste. What is left is nothing. So the civil debris, which is a part of the earth, will go back. That's the only thing which is not recyclable. Some people are making bricks out of it or things like that. But rest of it is all recyclable, all biodegradable, can be used for manure manufacturing, can be used for methane and power production, can be used for recycling in various industries. So if we take it up, most of us, I know many of us are out of our jobs, we have a lot of time on our hands, we have ideas, we have the energy, we are not retired yet physically. So let's use our energy, thinking power, our contacts, our ability to push things, and do something good for the industry first, do something good for the people in the country, and make India a Swachh Bharat country, which is the dream of Mahatma Gandhi initially and now Mr. Modi. So why not we do it? Mr. Deveshwar was very passionate about it. He talked about wow in the first meeting he had with Modi. So now with Mr. Sanjeev Puri taking charge of the company, if you put a good word to him and make a detailed presentation, I'm sure he'll be happy to drive this initiative because it's a part of our CSR in any case. So if ITC can do it in a small way, why not the rest of the paper mills? And the beneficiaries are medium and small paper mills, which are about 600 of them, who depend totally on recycled fiber. Today they're on hand to mouth, and with calamities like coronavirus suddenly landing up, you may even have to shut down your paper mills for want of raw material. So we can safeguard ourselves, we can be self-sufficient, we can be cost competitive, we can be clean and hygienic in our society, take care of the people's health, create innumerable employment for the rack pickers and waste collectors, and also make India Swachh Bharat. So this is what I'm thinking. I thought I'll put it across to all of you guys. If there is some, meaning in what I said, if you feel the idea is good, I am prepared to work 24/7 on this subject, and all of you can support me. We can take it forward, and there are people with a lot of experience in this group, so they can actually pull strings at different levels, and we can do it. So this is what I wanted to present today. I don't want to go into statistics, so I thought I'll put the message across first, and when I go to nitty-gritties, I have all the numbers to talk about. We'll do that separately. Is that okay?
Sir, thanks for the most inspiring speech. Now I open the forum for question and answers. Pradeep sir, before going that, I request Pradeep sir to make his comment. Sir, you can unmute yourself, sir. Yes.
After Joga's inspiring address, there is nothing more left to be said actually. And, it has been, after plantations, probably the most successful visible project of ITC PSPD, meeting all the three bottom lines, the environmental, the social, because it creates job creation, and the raw material, that means financial as well. So it fulfills all the three bottom line objectives of any organization. The profitability of this venture, Joga, somewhere people need to be convinced, because the issue is so large. It's in millions of tons, and it is so geographically spread. It is more geographically spread than plantations, So somehow we have to create models. If you're going to say that I need to be within 400, 500 kilometers radius of a large waste paper based mill, then you will have only limited areas, because the largest collection happens in big cities where there are no, large paper mills in near vicinity. Maybe Bombay has because of Gujarat, and then interstate issues, taxation, so all kind of comprehensive solution, considering all aspects, that business model. Because if you have a successful business model, 10 entrepreneurs will come in. In my mind, that's the way to make it successful. You have to create one or two prototypes. We have one, like whatever we are creating for Kowai, Bhadrachalam. I don't know the latest where WOW collections are going more into Kowai, I suppose. So we have one model like that. You have to create 2-3 models, maybe with the help of other mills which are dominant in those areas, so that normal entrepreneur gets convinced that there is money in this. If that happens, it will multiply and it will become a national kind of issue. For that, yes, blessings from the top people. If it comes from Modi's mouth, obviously it will make wonders. The governments will become much more supportive, because in this journey, the support from the government also is important. So definitely it is worth pursuing. So those are my broad comments, Joga.
Sir, Sanjay sir.
I'll just step in here with a little bit of inputs from what a little I've done. See, broadly speaking, we have done this successfully in ITC. The model has been put on ground and it rolled out very well. And the nuances have been ticked off very well. All boxes have been ticked off. Coming to the cost aspects, the economics, since we are standalone unit Kowai operating, trying to cover larger areas, trying to recover waste paper, what is required for Kowai, and rest of it trying to distribute to other paper mills. And of course, we had no wherewithal as to what we do with plastics and metal and glass and things like that. And the operations have become slightly unviable because it's only one mill, and if you ask me, the team I had at that time was about 5-6 people. So therefore, if we have to really do it, it has to be with the involvement of government. I would like to give you a couple of examples here. I have gone and made a presentation to Ahmedabad Municipal Corporation. I have gone and made a presentation to Pune Municipal Corporation. I have gone and made a presentation to Baroda Municipal Corporation. And of course, quite a few of them in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. Now, my pitch as far as government is concerned, I have been talking to them and they're very well convinced. There is a substantial budget provided for Swachh Bharat across the country by Government of India. Central government funds are available. These guys have no idea. Of course, some are selfish interests also, like how to eat so much out of the funds what are allocated is first objective. But rest of it, even if they have to show some results, because Venkaiah Naidu used to be the municipal administration minister those days, he used to make a visit and fire these buggers. What the hell you guys have done? I have given you so many crores. Now the point is, these guys have no wherewithal. Even today, after leaving ITC after 5 years, 6 years, I'm still getting calls from municipalities and corporations come advise us how do we take it forward. Because for them, Swachh Bharat has to be implemented because they are answerable to central government. For them, the money has to be spent. They have to show the budget has been spent at the end of the financial year. But those guys are unable to do it. They are squandering it away, doing some silly things, buying some dump trucks, and they become junk in no time. So things like that are happening. So when I spoke to these large municipal corporations, they said we are ready to sign an MOU if we are a good, respectable body. in that, my suggestion was, you have so many funds. As far as we are concerned, publicity, door-to-door campaigning, mouth-to-mouth, advice to the people, and communicating on this, the advantages, etc., the cost related to bags distribution, everything has to be done by government from their budget. We'll handhold you, we'll train your people. You engage all your workers, we'll give them training. I done that in Bangalore. We used to give training sessions to all the municipal workers. Now, if government is convinced, that's why I said, see, if we have to do it as a paper industry, we cannot really sustain it, as you rightly said, because small and medium will say, what is in it for me? And how much I'm going to save per ton of waste paper. If it is driven by government with their funds, and we being the nodal agent, like the paper industry in each zone, becomes the body which we are going to create, becomes the nodal agency for that zone. And okay, people like me, I train more of us, and they'll all become, okay, we'll identify 5 people for each zone, for example, 5 Zogaravs. And those guys will be hand-holding the nodal team as well as the government agencies there. And we work through the municipal corporation, and we spend the Swachh Bharat funds for the initiation of this activity. That's where we have to bring in Mr. Chugh and Mr. Modi into the picture. They have to push it down from the top. Pune has been done like that. We went and met that Javadekar, and I told him, sir, this is the idea. He liked it. Then he said, come on, let's do it in Pune first. Of course, it's a different story after that. Our little platform we created separated out because one guy has gone to Dubai and one guy settled in UK and I'm only left in India. So as a result, if there is an initiative which is convincing to the government, where we can show the numbers what we have done in PSPD, I'm sure there will be an interest from government side. Because today, if you ask me, the municipality authorities used to take from us, boss, kitna recyclable aap collect kiya hai in this month, how much garbage you have handled. So I have to report to my commissioner. Unless you give me the data, I have nothing to show them. So that is the state of affairs with the government. So if we do the groundwork, we train them, we help them and use their money, their muscle power, their contact with the government of India, things will happen. Then the paper mills will be the buyers for the waste paper. So they get the advantage of low cost raw material through the effort put in by the mills, nodal agency, as well as the government of India's initiative Swachh Bharat. So that's how we should look at it, as a comprehensive activity involving paper mills as well as government of India and the general public. I've done that and I've got MOU copies with the municipal authorities of Pune, Ahmedabad, Baroda and various other municipalities.
Sir, Sanjay sir, any comments?
So if we take it as a serious activity with all our might behind us, with big companies, TNPL, ITC, JK, etc., we can push this. I have a feeling that, if we have approached to, as a forum, if we approach Modi, I'm sure we get an interview. We can use good offices of Mr. Chugh. He is gung-ho about it. He says, Jogarav, do it. I want this to be much better than your plantations, he said once. I said, I'll come to Delhi, spend good 2-3 days with you, convince you, then we go and meet Modi. He said, no problem. But then I said, one Jogarav can't drive this. It has to be industry-driven thing. It has to be driven by big people. So the idea is there, the knowledge is there, the wherewithal is there. We can push it. But everybody should join hands, particularly the industry. Small and medium mills, they have to show their might. We can guide them. They become the zonal nodal agency members, and they drive it within the zone. How many mills are there? What is the waste paper requirement? What grades are required? How we can sort them? Put smaller baling plants in different locations. All sorts of things can be done. We can use government money, government infrastructure for pushing the initiative on the Swachh Bharat scheme.
Yeah, okay. Just 1 or 2.
Yeah,
add on to what Pradeep and Joga said. We have been working on it for the last so many years. We feel some form of legislation will have to come to help this movement. Government support is required, but beyond government support, legislation is also required. Slowly things are improving. Somewhere in Hyderabad also now, the municipal corporation is saying that they will not lift the municipal waste unless you have the segregation of dry and wet waste. So things are moving in that direction, and a thing like this will take some time. So that's one good thing happening. Secondly, a very interesting fact I would like to share with all of you. We started Hyderabad, Tirupati, Bangalore, Delhi, and a place called Muzaffarpur in Bihar. And we started that place, Muzaffarpur, because one of the persons in the government wanted that exercise to be started. So we did that. Very surprisingly, the best performance we got was from Muzaffarpur, and the worst performance we got was from Bangalore. Now we were trying to analyze what could be the reason. One thing which came out was people who are resident of that place, permanent resident, take much more interest in doing this activity than those who are so-called migrant. Bangalore is full of migrant. They are highly technical people, highly qualified. The fact of the matter is they are all migrant. They come from various places, stay there, and their interest, very surprisingly, is much lower than people who are staying in Muzaffarpur. They are all local people because they survive there on agriculture and like that. So their interest in keeping their city or town clean is much higher. And today Muzaffarpur is a transformed place. 80 to 90% of the houses are doing segregation. Total wet and dry. The wet is getting converted into fertilizer, being used in the fields. The dry waste is getting collected. Government is obviously this can't be done without government support, and that is getting segregated and being sent to the. And there is no paper industry nearby. So that Bihar government is very happy with us, and now they want to take it to Patna. Patna is a huge. Not sure whether. I thought I'll share this with you. This perspective of Bangalore, though we started much earlier, was becoming much more difficult to handle in Bangalore than any other thing. It will definitely help along in this direction. That's all I have to share.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, I have one question.
Yes, sir. Mr. Pathak, sir, please carry on. Mr. Pathak?
Yeah, Prakash.
He got muted. I don't know. You have to unmute yourself, sir.
Prakash, you have to unmute yourself.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
We can hear you.
Yeah. My question is, why not we have with each metro a big collection center, and then there itself you have a small pulp mill. From that loose paper, you make a pulp, compress it, and why it cannot be transported to the paper mills? So maybe that will work cheaper.
The technocrats can answer this question, but I have some information on that. In USA, there are two pulp mills rather, purely making waste paper pulp. So in fact, we bought a few tons when I was in PSPD. The point is the quantum of waste paper you generate in a particular area and the quality of it and the kind of pulp you get out of that. These are all things which you need to keep in mind. Second thing is the requirement is not, okay, if it is general one level requirement as a filler layer for a duplex board, fine, we can make one quality day in and day out. But in India, there are so many paper mills which make kraft. There are so many paper mills which make newsprint. There are so many paper mills which make, duplex board. So for all these small requirements, we can't have different qualities of pulp made out of waste paper, So therefore, that becomes slightly tricky. So in fact, a lot of paper mills prefer their waste paper come to their yard so that they can sort them into different categories and use it for the respective end users.
Prakash, that is the ultimate goal we all are thinking about. When it will happen, we don't know. A long way to go.
Sir Krishnan, sir, you have any thoughts to share on both the sessions?
Yeah, just to start with what Prakash was asking a question. Why don't we have a pulp plant and give pulp feed? But the kind of waste paper quality, the kind of contaminants what we have today, you are going to end up by putting a sorting and then convert a baling plant and then a charging plant and conveyor system, everything. Then you are going to have a pulper. Then directly from the pulper, you are not going to ship pulp sheets. You are going to put a screening and cleaning plant. And you are talking about running a small secondary fiber paper mill there. And with the current pollution control and with the current pollution control board norms, that the converting of these type of MSME type of things will not be in a position to meet the pollution control norms. And it's all going to be in the city centers and things like that, or the township. And you can't handle that type of liquid effluent. Today, many of the things, the permissions are given only when they're asking about what is going to be your effluent. It's going to be liquid, it's going to be stacked, it's going to be dry solid. Then what's going to be a proposal? So this option might not work out even in the change scenario. Now, coming to Joga's very nice presentation of the speech, a very charging speech, I would put it this way. And it's close to the topic of many paper mills who are dependent on waste paper. But again, it again comes to, it is something like old stuff put in the new bottle. We are talking about the same good old problem of, the whole logistic chain of, collect globally and recycle locally, the concept. Now, if ITC or DNPL or somebody, JK or somebody have to do it, then they will also have to see that how much is going to be their benefit of how many machines or how much a percentage of fiber is going to come from this facility. If in the entire ITC basket, if it's only Kovai of that 15-20% is going to get covered, in TNPL out of 5 machines, if it is going to be 1 machine going to be covered or something like that, then probably the economy of scale might not work. It will be a very good CSR initiative for the rest of the country, where the paper mills are dependent on 80% of their requirement on waste paper. Naturally, when ITC is going to put it, Mr. Sanjeevpuri will always think that, what is that for ITC? So I'm putting it so much of investment and so much of infrastructure, so much of manpower and things like that, big chain. How much is your fiber cost will come down? How much is going to be your benefit? Everybody will look into that way. Somewhere, every paper will look into it. But here, basically, what Sajay was saying, that it has to be through the government initiative. It should be to Tamil Nadu government, they say no plastics. Then probably Tamil Nadu government should say that we are net fiber importers. How do we do in different states? It can be starting as a model in 4-5 states or 3-4 states. Southern state, you pick up one state, and Western and the Eastern belt or Northern belt, one state. Then we should build it up on that model. Probably at that time when it reaches, people like Joga and veterans can pitch in and then handhold and all these things can be done. But as a paper mill, as a company, taking this as an initiative, doing it for 800 large paper and board mills, it will be a talking point rather than a pushing exercise practically. But this is the need of the hour. But one thing which is getting proved now, Joga, whatever at that point we said it's not going to be feasible. In the new normal or in the change scenario, many things are revisited. Many things are going to be made possible. So probably when you are driven to the wall, all these solutions will emerge. Probably we will have to look at it in a different perspective rather than just taking only some few bullet points or something like that. You are given the overall perspective, and we are seeing that 192 of US dollar per ton, it has gone to 285 or $300 today. And everybody was enjoying being pulp, which is at 30,000 and less. Today it's going to be at 38,000 or 39,000. Then how these mills are going to make, that for the top layer of the board or for the writing and printing of 40% or 50% of the pulp, which is almost 1.6 times the cost of the bagasse pulp or hardwood pulp. It's going to be a big hot pressing scenario for it's a challenge for the entire paper industry. It's not for 1 or 2 companies or 3-4 companies, but definitely many things are going to be possible. Let's see how do you work it out. Thanks, Joga. Thanks for the inputs.
Thank you. The point is that government has to be driving this. We should be the people supporting the initiative as the beneficiaries. Money has to come from government pockets. Their budgets are huge. Swachh Bharat, they are not spending anything. That money has to be driven into the system. When I discussed with Pune Municipal Commissioner, I told him the same thing with numbers. I said, how much it will cost? He asked. I said, this is the cost. If we earn from our side, if your cost is say 8 rupees total per kg, we are chipping in with 4 rupees, which we are going to pay you per kg of metal, what you are going to give me, 4 or 5 rupees. So you are recovering almost 60% of your cost. Rest is the 3 rupees for the bags, propagation, etc. All that has to be done by you. And your government officers in municipal corporations and all should be trained, and they should work on this initiative with our support, so that it becomes a government initiative helping the paper industry and rest of the environment and other industries.
Okay, Joga, straight question to you. Suppose we take this initiative, okay, and then we take it forward after the COVID lockdown is lifted for the southern paper mills from the Tamil Nadu government. how active you are going to be.
Okay.
Would you have any restriction to participate? How to arrange for the meetings, and we'll take it forward. And how sensitive it would be when you have work with ITC and things like that.
No, see, as I told you in the beginning, this is my brainchild and I've been very passionate about it. That's the reason why I chose this topic today rather than talking on tourism, holiday and all that.
Okay, we
So
are
the
already,
idea is that,
okay, we are already
the
working.
idea is that at the end of the day, all of us, we worked in the industry, we have become something in the industry because of the industry. So we have to give it back. That's how I look at it. I don't look for money in the whole aspect. I'll spare my time. Today also people call me, I give them free advice. So therefore, I'm there available. But then we have to multiply, like in the, Robo Rajnikant, we'll have thousands of Jogaras to really deliver this across the country. So that training aspect, hand-holding, guidance, meeting people, travel, all that I can do, no problem.
Okay, so you are free for that.
Yeah.
Okay. Because you're
And it
already
gives me pleasure. Not that I'm doing it.
started something with Paperman, you are aware of. Chennai, there's a Paperman type of one chain is working for the logistics and making a green initiative. So with that we are doing, but it is in a very, very minuscule thing. And he has a lot of.
In fact, when I was handling this in PSPD, Gopalan, your earlier CMD was there. No, he called me once. He and your joint managing director, Villangiri.
Yeah,
They wanted me to make a presentation to their team, your top team. So you were still in PSPD that time. So I made a detailed presentation. We also discussed on the way forward with Pradeep's, clearance. That TNPL, we can do it and with some restrictions. We are also competing in the same zone with Kowai. So he said, be careful, but then help them out. So that way, I think industry has no issues. If there is an initiative which will help everybody in the industry, why not?
That's why I said in the current context, change scenario, many things what we have put it in the back burner, we are trying to revisit and then lift it. Probably it would make sense for the fiber resource. As Pradeep was rightly pointing it out, after the plantation, probably the biggest initiative what ITC where we can be all proud of because we're all initiated, till last 3 years back at the system. We used to be so proud, that we have, people said that it's not possible. We have collected from building to building, you, Shankar, Manjula, and people, when you started in the initial stages, you are really and you have brought it to this extent. So all these things are probably going to be seen by many of the bigger paper mill. I will not use the word ABC grade. Whosoever is 80% on the waste paper dependent, probably they are going to look at all these things. And we have a very big potential in the South Indian side, South built paper mill, where even for writing and printing, they put 60 to 70% on the recycled white waste. So probably do some working, then probably at any point of time, if some presentation and government level taking it up and then sitting forward with the chief secretary or principal secretary, I would like to take you with this thing and we'll take it forward here. As you rightly said, it may not only for TNPL or something, for a good cause of the paper industry, that we would do it. Today we are like this because of the industry. So we would like to offer something back to it.
Absolutely. Right.
No, even in South, you have very good, positive-minded people. You ask Sheshishai, Gopal Ratnam and all, they will all support all this talk. But they won't drive it, Joga. Somebody has to drive it, And Joga can drive in terms of knowledge input and things like that. There has to be, Joga will be the chairman. There has to be a managing director of this. Let me put it that way. There has to be a CEO or COO for this,
With the mills like TNPL, CSI, etc., I think they can pull strings at Tamil Nadu government level.
No, that's right. But the government won't implement, Joga. The government won't implement. The implementation has to be with some.
Pradeep, many of us are getting retired, within another 2-3 years.
Yeah. So it has to be like that. People with knowledge, under the aegis of the government. It can be quasi-government and things like that. It doesn't have to be government. Some industrial development corporation or something like that. A corporate entity. It may be ultimately like TNPL. TNPL is government in a way, but it's a corporate entity, So things work much better. Things work much better in TNPL than in Tamil Nadu government. Because why? It's a corporate entity. There is a hierarchy. There's a managing director, there's executive director, general manager, etc. So things happen. So something like that has to got set up.
The Krishna, see, I can
I
come
think
down
when that
anytime
stage,
when we try to
when
start,
that
things are
stage comes,
better.
many of us can work together, sir.
No,
Yeah,
what I want to say
our user of waste paper, Madhu, is not around, I think. How did he miss out? I wanted some comments from people who are running, who are working with small mills, relatively small mills, or other mills who are also using waste paper. Gadgi wants to say something.
Yeah, go ahead.
Gadgi, unmute yourself.
Yeah. Now, okay, sir. Can I? Yeah. I hope I'm clear, sir. Now, yeah.
Yeah.
So, sir, I have used waste paper quite for a number of years. I have got one question to ask. Okay, we have discussed a lot about our Indian waste paper, but again, there is a very big, tough competition technologically from the imported sources of waste paper, where the fiber characteristic itself is very strong in the nature, and we get much more benefit as compared to our Indian waste paper. So, sir, anything you like to discuss on?
Anybody would like to answer? Should I answer to some extent? I can answer.
Yeah, Joga, go ahead.
See, if you look at craft paper, for example.
Yeah, Indian KCC are imported. Yeah.
India is largest importer of OCC and double-sided OCC and NDLKC by some mills like ITC, etc. As you rightly said, the quality of fiber is good in craft, coming from particularly USA. But I would like to give you an idea that with China exporting major quantum of their products into USA, the OCC quality, if you look at, there are 3-4 grades of OCC in USA itself. When I used to, import or trade in those waste paper post PSPD, the mills used to insist on a particular variety of OCC grade, #1 grade kind of a thing, because that is originated out of USA. But if you use Chinese OCC carton coming via USA, the quality is still same like India. B grade, C grade kind of a thing. The fiber quality, shorter fiber, and no strength, etc. The NDLKC, on the other hand, is pre-consumer, generated out of USA. The quality is much better, therefore the price is also higher. So what we have to do is, within India, when we were in ITC also, we used to use partly some imported waste paper, partly domestic waste paper for filler layer requirements, and blend it in a way that you don't depend totally on imported waste paper. So it's like, putting masala in biryani. So the major portion could be domestic, and you put some quantum of 20-15% imported for getting that strength.
Yeah. And also now looking at the handling part of the waste paper. Yeah, handling part of Indian waste paper. Already, sir, we are doing a lot of baling, etc., to handle this waste paper. But I think, sir, still it is not so efficient for Indian scenario, that we still get a lot of loose packing, and really we lose a lot on the bulk handling rather than the compressed bale material. I think a lot of things can be done technologically on this before we go for actual pulping stations at various places. Yeah, please, Joel.
See, yeah. If you go, I'm just giving an example. You go to a company in Chennai called ML Pujara and Sons. That guy put up a world-class waste paper processing facility. He's using the same technology what we discussed. I am actually involved in discussing with him and hand-holding him to some extent. He has imported balers from overseas, from Europe, and today his bale weight is close to 600 to 700 kgs, as against 150 kgs, 125 kgs manually baled or semi-hydraulic baling what we do in other waste paper plants.
Really good density.
So if we talk of this kind of large-scale operations, zonal operations, we can actually involve the paper mills within that zone, invest some quantum of money so that we have world-class facility there. And the amount of loading you do with hydraulically pressed bales with 600 kg and 150, 125 kg bales, you save on the logistics itself. Therefore, it is not that you are investing for the sake of nothing. The mills will gain in the longer run on logistics and handling costs. So we can do that. As a model, there are at least 4. There's one plant in Pune also like that. So if we go and visit them, we have all the wherewithal, where the equipment comes, how it can be installed, how it can operate, etc. So the Indian, for example, we wanted to, in PSPD, we wanted to do one yard in Hyderabad, in Secunderabad area, near Suchitra Junction. We took a large warehouse through the NGO. We wanted to put up a hydraulic baling and all that. Subsequently, it didn't work out. But the point is, if you do that, you save on your handling as well as your logistics cost. It can be possible.
Okay, thank you.
Surina. I think we should conclude.
Any more questions? We can take this forward on one-to-one basis. All of you can have my email ID and I can talk to people also. And of course, we can always take the blessings of Sanjay, Pradeep and Chittu and such seniors. And there will be, if we work at it seriously and push it the way, I have the nuances, nitty-gritties of how to implement it at government level also. So we can discuss this and take it forward as an initiative if everybody is interested. I thought only it's paper industry's requirement there, therefore we have to work together. So I thought I'll put it across today. If there is interest, there is always a way.
Surya.
Yeah, sir, Shivnaran here, sir. I think we are missing Surya, but he has messaged me if I can do the vote of thanks for this session.
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah. Once again, glad to see everybody and listen to the various inputs. And one common thread in today's sessions by my two great bosses, Jogara Garu and C.S. Rao Garu, is I think the underlining aspect of passion. One C.S. Rao Garu session was a passion which is inward driven, and Jogara Garu's subject, what he has chosen, is a passion to the industry and the society at large. But both the sessions coincidentally had a very strong thread of passion, which I think is one of the greatest takeaways. Because once that is there, then we can apply it to any subject and any topic. With that opening remark, I think C.S. Rao Garu's session was practical in the sense that we all did the mock session or a practice session. But I think the icing will be once we start practicing it, and maybe as suggested in the follow-up session, how much we can apply to that. Jogara Rao Garu session, the excellent interaction and inputs from Pradeep sir, Sanjay sir, Krishnan, and the various queries. Certainly, the theoretical aspect and the implementation aspect seems to be the major challenge. And maybe some strings need to be pulled in the RSS Shakha or the BJP headquarters to get this going. But otherwise, surely a topic worth pursuing. And once again, the passion with which Mr. Jogara Rao emphasized it and volunteered to take it forward is always great. And I think these are the two great sessions, and lucky that I was given the opportunity to do this vote of thanks, as they are the great bosses that I reported to, and the passion still continues, whether it is